The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, hello. This is Dan Morris, freeweeklymastermind.com. This week we're doing something different. I guess it's not too different. We're always teaching cool stuff to improve your web visibility, web presence, to increase your revenue, and really just to generally make you smarter about options that you have online. So this week, at NAMS, I heard that Daniel Hall was in the crowd, and I thought, holy moly, Daniel Hall is the guy that I listened to when I went to, he did a webinar for Denise Wakeman about formatting books for Kindle. And I thought, oh man, I got to get with that guy because he knows a lot of stuff. So I don't know how long it took me to find you, a couple of days. I was busy. But I found Mr. Hall and said, man, I want to take your second level class. I need to know the extra ninja stuff that I didn't learn in the beginner class. And so that spawned the discussion that maybe we should do that kind of a call here at Free Weekly Mastermind where we could talk about some ninja stuff and some formatting. Because I really thought the formatting, I had good notes. I needed the next level. So here we are in March, and we're on the call with Mr. Hall. That was Dr. Seuss right there. And we're about to get started. I don't know all that you do. When you sent me an email and your signature line had 48 domains in it, I thought, holy moly, this guy does a lot of stuff online.
Oh yeah.
So I know your cruise thing, like that was one of your niches. But some of the other ones I don't know. What else do you dominate?
Say again, Dan. My AVAS is telling me that something just came through that on my some sort of a Trojan blah blah blah. I'm trying.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to eradicate said Trojan.
On your computer.
Yeah.
All right. So last week we did a webinar called "How to Have a Webinar," and this is one of those things that just pops up. There's no way you can prevent it. Know it's going to happen. It just happens.
No, it's a bit like live television. It's kind of fun in that way, really.
Totally be prepared.
Yeah, I mean it's really kind of fun, as I say, to attack it and make it happen regardless. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it happen. We might have some pop-ups here. Let me actually bring up my my other screen here and show that to you. And there we go. Can everyone hear me and can see my screen okay? Can you see this? Yeah. All right, cool. Sherry says yes. Dan says yeah. Chris says yes. Good. Beth, Kurt. All right, cool. Jane says loud and clear. Excellent. Ute is here. Mary Jo is here. Great. All right, so I will tell you, folks, this webinar that I'm about to give for you is actually something that that I've never really presented like I've presented here today, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I mean, if you've ever been on one of my Kindle webinars before, some of the things we're going to be talking about tonight are going to be the same, and other things are going to be completely different. In the genesis of that, the reason for that is Dan asked me to do something a little different in what we actually publish tonight, because we are in fact going to give you the complete step-by-step instructions for publishing on Kindle, formatting on Kindle, and effectively marketing your Kindle book. Stuff that I've, again, never shared before. Again, because Dan sent me up, sent me down this particular rabbit hole. And I usually come when people do that, when either I do that to myself or somebody else sends me in a totally different direction and stretches my brain in brand new ways, usually good things come from that. I'm going to let you be the judge of it by the end of the night, but usually I'm pretty happy with the results. I think you will be too. Okay? So, with that said, I do want to let you know that we will sell you something at the end of this webinar, okay? So don't get freaked out or shocked about that. Today's webinar does have a sponsor, and we will have an offer for you. However, you will not hear that offer until I have completely and thoroughly delivered on my promise to you. Now, what I really want to tell you is the product that we're going to talk about at the end is my Real Fast Book Training, where we show folks how to crank out high quality, highly profitable books real fast. But again, you're not gonna see that until after I've showed you some really next level cool stuff. So enough of the advert there. Let's actually get into what to expect in tonight's webinar. In tonight's webinar, I'm going to show you in less than about 60 minutes how to become an Amazon Kindle ebook author with international distribution on one of the busiest sites in the world. Specifically, I'll show you how to do it from start to finish tonight, literally within 15 minutes after this call is over. And before you go to bed tonight, you can immediately put into action what I show you. And if you follow it step by step, don't be surprised if by tomorrow you have an ebook up and ready to sell on Amazon.com. Now, sort of with that foundation laid, with that understanding, with that promise made, let me ask you this question. Is this something that you'd like to do? In other words, do I have the right audience? If so, go now to your questions box and type in, heck yes, I want to know that I've got the right group of people, and that's why you all showed up here. And okay, cool. Yes, indeed. This is Steve's death. Yeah. What about the rest of you? Heck yes, go man, go. Okay, cool. You always have the right audience, says Ute. Thank you. Ute, appreciate it. Yes, please, says Sharon. All right, cool. So let me quickly go through why this is very important. Essentially, Kindle has a group of people that buy them that are good people to market to. That's really the long and the short of all these statistics. This is a great demographic to market to, primarily because they have money, they're relatively sophisticated, and if they don't have the resources to pay for your solution, they're smart enough to go get it. They're smart enough to go find the resources to pay you. So that's one of the things that we're seeing here. And also, this last statistic is very important. Just look at, go into your big box electronics stores, folks, and look at the floor space now dedicated solely to e-readers. Okay, that tells the story. There are many more eyeballs are on e-readers like Kindle, and that's a cool thing. That's a very good thing from our perspective as independent publishers. And I'm sure you all already know this, that Kindle books are outselling both hardback and soft cover books at a 3-to-1 ratio on Amazon, and they still sell a lot of physical books on Amazon. So just to give you an idea of the numbers that we're dealing with, and also this is basically going to be, by the year 2016, a $11 billion business. 11 billion with a B. And you're saying, well, Daniel, what does that have to do with me? Why are you telling me this? Well, the fact of the matter is, folks, that I want you to get a chunk of that money. I want you to get a nice big old chunka-hunka of this pie that we call ebook sales, which is one of the reasons why I'm so glad, so happy that you are here tonight, okay? So that you can, in fact, do that, because I'm going to be completely transparent with you here tonight. I'm going to show you stuff from stem to stern, holding nothing back, essentially. this is another very telling thing I think as well. And again, another indicia of just where this is going and how great this is from the standpoint of us, that is you and I, being an independent publisher. Okay? Really interestingly, of the top 50 books are on the Amazon bestseller list, 12 of the top 50 books are from independent publishers. Okay? In other words, folks like you and I. Here are just a couple headlines I grabbed. For the first time, self-published author, read you and I, independent author, sells 1 million Kindle ebooks. By the way, I'm going to show you how one of the things that he did, John Locke guy, did to actually manage that. I'll show you that tonight. The other thing, look at this other one. This 26-year-old is making millions cutting out traditional publishers with Amazon Kindle. What I'm trying to say here is that indie authors and publishers, that is you and I. We have direct access to the marketplace without a gatekeeper, and we have the same abilities that some of the big boys, the 800-pound gorillas out in the publishing world, which are now in the process of imploding, by the way, that they have. And that's cool, and I dig that, all right? By the way, Dan, anytime you want to jump in and ask questions, this is pretty laid back tonight, so please feel free to do that, okay? All right, so here's what you're going to need. Essentially, you're going to need an Amazon account, and I'm going to teach MS Word, but you really don't need necessarily MS Word. I'm going to show you how to do basic formatting tonight with any program that will make a .doc or a .docx document. Okay, this is the only program that you need, and with MS Word, actually I'm going to teach 2010 of MS Word. But if you're on a Mac, I know that you have a way to create .doc documents. If you don't, you could also go and get the Oracle Open Office suite, which is a free suite that'll also make a .doc if you need that. That's a completely free solution. Okay, so now let's talk about this bad boy right here, content to publish. And let me just list, because I want to essentially change your paradigm or shift your paradigm tonight and get you thinking about the stuff that you could be publishing that maybe you are not publishing. So let's actually bring this down here and just start listing things like blog post. Okay, do any of you blog? Do any of you have a series of related blog posts, even if they're short? Or what about, I bet you some of you here have done some article marketing in the past. Or what about books?
Threat has been detected.
Or I bet if you don't have a whole book, you're like me, you probably have on your hard drive right now plenty of chapters of books that are uncompleted, right? So we're going to put chapter books. Also, I want you to think about this one. You're going to love this. PD, or public domain content. Okay, public domain content. This is essentially content that is royalty-free. You could use it without asking anyone's permission. Okay, and you could do whatever you want with it, including with the and that's what we're going to be doing tonight, including make a derivative work with it. Now, question I always get here is, Daniel, can I actually put my can I actually put my public domain up on Kindle? Can I do that? I thought that the Amazon slap said that that we can't do public domain content. All right. Well, I'm going to put that to bed once and for all. The fact of the matter is that you can, affirmative, you can publish public domain content under certain criteria, and we will discuss that when the time comes. Okay, and I'll actually show you the Amazon Kindle policy on that. All right, but you can definitely do that. In fact, what we're going to be doing tonight is a hybrid of some public domain content that that I was working with to publish what we're going to publish tonight, because we are in fact going to publish a book here tonight. Okay.
I had a couple more things you could do.
Yeah, I wasn't finished either, but go ahead. What are yours, man?
Well, I was thinking that a lot of people don't do this, but you can easily transcribe your videos and stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Once you transcribe, you have a document at that point.
Absolutely.
And then the other one was some of the people in our audience. This is not their full-time job. They have day jobs, and their companies have brochures. And I think if you take a company brochure and you add a narrative, make it something interesting, you could actually use that to help propel your company forward.
Okay. So we got company brochure, essentially making a white paper out of your company brochure and publishing it on Kindle. Yeah.
Expand how many places you can be found in the search results when they search for your company.
Absolutely, great idea. And another one I wanted to add here, that, and I'm sure this is going to apply to some of you, is college papers. Your old college papers, believe it or not. Okay?
Yeah, even transcribe podcasts.
And podcast as well. Well, I have transcribed down here. Well, let's put podcast. And video. Okay? And we got college papers here. And the other thing I want to make really clear a lot is that now that we have this list, is I call it OPM, which is other people's material. You have the power to publish other people's stuff. There's probably people in your acquaintance that have lots of really, really great content in between their ears, content that would sell, that would help other people, and yet they have no clue on how to get that out into the world. So you can do that as well. So I just want to make sure that you're understanding me on this point. Now, another question I get in here is, well, Daniel, how much is enough? How much content is actually enough? And here is what I want you to measure your content with from now on. I want you to judge your content not on its quantity, but rather its quality. Okay? It's quality. So I'll say that in a slightly different way. If you have implicit in your title, and by the way, you should have something implicit in your title, a promise made implicit in your title, and you can deliver on that promise. In fact, you could over-deliver on that promise made in your title in 5 pages. That is enough, in my opinion. 3 pages, that is enough. As long as you are over-delivering on the promise that you make in the title of your book, that is enough. Okay. The other thing that we're going to need here, did you have anything else you wanted to add, Dan? Great ads. I really appreciate it, by the way.
No, I just like the audience to always be thinking about repurposing their content, and this is a fantastic way. I mean, don't necessarily think you're going to go out and write a Kindle book. You already have it. Figure out how to get it into a doc.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And this last point here is we are going to need a tool called Snap-a-Shot. Well, actually, we don't need this particular tool. It could be any screen capture tool that you wish. This one happens to be free because I'm going to actually show you how to design a cover tonight. Okay? We are going to need to take a picture of that cover to upload to Kindle. So that's cool. And we're going to use this tool, Snap-a-Shot, to do that. And as I say, it does not have to be this one. It could be any of them. This one happens to be free and relatively easy to use, so I teach it. Okay, cool. Now, with that said, let's talk about the steps of actually getting our stuff published. And these are the steps we're going to take tonight. We're going to actually log into our Kindle Direct Publishing account. We're going to talk a little bit more about choosing content. We're going to talk about saving that content as an MS Word file, designing the cover, taking a snap-a-shot of that cover, and then uploading and publishing all of that to Amazon's Kindle, including some pricing strategies with that. Okay, so that is sort of the course that I have laid out for the rest of tonight's training. Okay, so with that said, let's actually open up Mozilla Firefox here and swoop in here, and let me show you by the way, I'm a cruise ship speaker. We teach people, how to trade their talents for free luxury cruises. This is my wife and I on the Giza Plateau, in case you haven't figured that out. The only reason why you're looking at it is because I think it's kind of cool, and I like to look at it every time I search Google. That's the only reason why you're looking at it. At any rate, so I'm just typing in here, Kindle Direct Publishing, and here's the bad boy right here. So we're going to actually go here. And once we're here, if you don't already have a Kindle account, or excuse me, if you don't already have an Amazon account, there will actually be two boxes right here. There'll be one below this one. It'll say sign up for an Amazon account. If you haven't already done that, then that's where you do it. We're going to be focusing and signing in right here with my account. Okay. All right, cool. So once we're here, we're actually going to go to this tabby right here. It says add a new title, and let me show you what we've got in here. All right, here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about KDP Select tonight as well when we get to it. And I'm not going to talk about it now, but when we get to it. So we actually might go a little long because I'm putting more in here than I usually do because you are part of Dan's group, and as such, I know that you are all razor sharp, and I'm not patronizing you either. I know that for a fact. If you follow Dan, you're smart folks. Here is the interior, and where we're going to put our book title, and I'm going to show you some really cool tricks with some of these fields that you could employ to actually get more juice, get more sales out of the same work. But you're going to put in your description here, you're going to put in your language, all this stuff, publisher, verified publishing rights, etc., 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 right through there. Okay, so I can't really take you to the next step. So let's actually, but I just wanted to kind of show you what it looks like in case you've never seen it. And let's start working with our content, what we're going to be publishing tonight. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm one of those kinds of guys that if I don't have it on my desktop, I forget where I put it. So generally speaking, my current projects that I'm working on, I keep on my desktop because I have easy access to them. What I'm suggesting,
the same thing.
Yeah, and then when I'm finished with it, I just put it away. I take it off my desktop. But what we're going to be publishing tonight is this little document right here. Now, Dan asked me to do something that I don't usually do. He said, "Can you show how to format and publish a recipe book?" Knowing, because Dan, if Dan is nothing else, he is laser focused on you all and your needs. And he says, "Hey, a bunch of my folks would really benefit from this, so can you show how to do this?" And I'm like, I've never published one, but what the hey? So essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did with this book right here today. I started this book at about 3 o'clock this afternoon, and this is it. It's called Ice Cream Recipes, 20 American Regional Favorites. Okay, this is the book we are publishing. And
wait a second.
Oh.
Did you use this opportunity to actually create a new ebook that you're going to put up on Kindle?
That's what we're going to do.
I mean, wow, that's pretty impressive. You took the opportunity not to prepare, but to actually create a new asset for yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
Because, see, I'm all about following what you say, Dan, and repurposing content. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you
Please take note of that if you're listening. Please take note of that.
And this is some really, really kind of next level. I think it's pretty next level stuff that I'm about to show you here, because right here is what we're going to publish. This is the title: Ice Cream Recipes, 20 American Regional Favorites. Now, what I want to tell you about this is just like I said, I created this book today, from about 3 o'clock until 6 o'clock. It just took me about 3 hours to do. And I've added some innovations here that I've never shared anywhere else, even including with my paid members, although I'm going to share it with them soon, that I think you're going to like. This, I know, I did some market research, which is a really important thing, okay, and I know that ice cream recipe books sell really, really well on Amazon's Kindle and on Amazon, on the physical book side as well. Okay, I know.
Did you know that before today?
I did not know that before today. When I sat down to do this, I said, okay, what can I do that's going to again give me? I'm all about creating the biggest bang for the buck. Okay, the most fruit from the least amount of effort. Okay. And this is, again, a case in point and a lesson for you all to learn. That being, when you're doing something, find as many different ways to use that effort, to create for you, to produce for you. All right, so here's the deal. And what I want you to understand is that this part right here, almost all of this, I will say, is from the public domain. Okay, almost all of it. There's probably, as you can see here, there's 2,193 words. I don't know how well you could see that down at the very left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner here. But of those words, probably 200 of them are my own, maybe 300 of this whole book. Okay. So, what I'm going to do tonight in the bonus webinar, for those of you that take me up on my offers, I'm going to actually show you how I put this book together so quickly. But what I want to point out to you here tonight is some really cool little features. For example, there is a prohibition. Okay, there's a prohibition with Amazon's Kindle that you're not supposed to put in affiliate links to your stuff, right? Actually, the language is meant primarily to sell, and I take that to mean that it should be go away. That should be something that isn't ramming things down people's throats that they don't want. In other words, give people, listen, so much of good business really is based on the golden rule. Give people what you yourself would like to see, without tricks, without being phony. And I'm going to show you how you could actually make money, and I fully intend to make lots of money with this very book, with what I'm about to show you here tonight. Because Amazon doesn't want you putting in lots and lots of your own affiliate links, you can put in things that go directly to Amazon. So this is, in other words, to Amazon's site itself. So this is has lots of gourmet ingredients in it, these recipes, okay? Like, for example, crystallized fruit pineapple, vanilla extract, burnt sugared almonds, okay? You see how I'm doing this? But so what I did, and what you may want to do as well, if your book lends itself to this, is I went into my Amazon account. Let's go back here. Let me show you how to do this. You go over to Amazon, and so I am an Amazon associate. I'm an Amazon affiliate, right? And as an Amazon affiliate, you've got this bar that appears on the top of every page. You can make any page in Amazon with this bar. You can get an affiliate link to a specific page or a specific search or what have you anywhere in Amazon. And let me show you, like, somebody's reading. Now, I want you to understand this as well. Kindle books, as long as your reader is online, as long as they're online, these links are clickable. So let's just see if I click Control click link to follow, where this goes. Oh, looky here, folks. Right in my book, people jump over here. They know the exact kind of gelatin that I'm talking about. In other words, it's doing them a favor, right? And if they buy not only this, but anything on Amazon that day, I'm cookied for the day. You get it? And that's pretty powerful, actually, because if you go back, let me go back here. If you go back here, look at all the links that I've got. I got vanilla. I've got crystallized fruit, candied fruit. I've got, what else? Burnt sugared almonds. I've got macaroons. I got marins and syrup, crystallized cherries, and here's apricots, candied apricots. The list goes on and on and on. Okay.
Let me say something about that.
Yeah.
I think what's interesting about that is that you have made the interesting ingredients, the ones you don't necessarily exactly where they are in the grocery store, the affiliate links, because marins and syrup, if you could click on that and buy it versus trying to figure out where that would possibly be in the grocery store, that makes a whole lot more sense than trying to make sugar an affiliate link. I think that's pretty.
You got it.
Smart way to go.
That's one of the innovations I wanted to introduce to your group tonight, Dan. And this is really being very helpful. Just as Dan has pointed out, this is so much easier than trying to figure out where, what macaroons am I talking about? What maroons am I talking about? Right? And all right, so that's number one. In other words, you're building, and this is one of the things that I teach my folks how to do, is you build profit centers in your book. So it's not just the royalties from the book sales. It's other profit centers in your book, which can be, make you lots of money long term. They're out and working for you while you sleep, right? while you're on vacation, while you're pushing your child on the swings in the park. You know, that is the type of power that I want you to employ in all of your marketing. But and this is just one way of doing it. Now, the other innovation I wanted to show you here is I've added, and I learned this from my friend Dan Hollings, is I've added a viral element to it. Because right here, I've got this little link that people can, let me show you what happens if I click this. And it takes me over here to Twitter. I need to sign in, so let me do that. Look what happens. Now, if I were already signed in, it would actually just pop that right for me. You see what I did here? I found great ice cream recipe resources here, and I had a bit.ly link that I implanted in my hyperlink. So let's see where that goes. So copy, and I paste that. And this again, this is another affiliate link of mine back to Amazon. And where does it send me? It sends me to the ice cream recipe books. Just there they are. By the way, I looked at this. Look at the review. Look at how many reviews for these ice cream recipe books.
I'll tell you, if you're thinking about that, tweet this recipe button, trying to figure out how that would work for you. I've also seen it in books where it's where you make a profound statement and then you put the button tweet this quote, or tweet this interesting thought. I think both of those are great.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. In fact, what I would do, the only reason why I'm sending people here now is because I don't have my own link to the book, for my own book, right? So as soon as I publish this book, as soon as this bad boy gets published, and I've got my own affiliate link to my own listing, I'll go back through here, change all these, and re-upload it so that when people tweet this, they actually tweet back to this exact book.
Wait a second. You load the book up, and then you have the option of replacing that book with another copy?
You could upload as many versions, you could do as many updates of the book as is possible.
Nice.
And and this is one of the things that I want to show you here, and this is one of the big secrets to John Locke's million seller success, is here at the conclusion. You write other titles, and the name of this book is what did I call it? I don't even remember. Other American regional favorites. Okay, that's what I'm going to put in here. Other American regional favorite titles. Other American regional favorite. Other titles. Let's see. There we go. Then you list the books. So let's say we have book 1, book 2, book 3, all of them in your series, okay? Because like I'm starting here with ice cream. Next one I'm going to do is pies. The one after that I'm going to do is cakes, and so forth, until I build a nice series of books based off of this. And when I've got one book done, I have the listing for the book, I'll come back here, add it, and then add it to every book that's been previously published and re-upload them all, so that now I've got the perfect impulse buy. If you like this book, you can come get, one for pies and one for, cakes and so forth. You get it? That's how John Locke has made, has sold millions of books. Just like that's one of the key things that he does.
I'll tell you, this concept right here ties directly into what we teach in the Marketing Calendar Blueprint, which is pre-selling your next thing. And if you're thinking, you're not necessarily thinking in your head of a series, but you definitely have an audience that is at level A, and you're moving your audience to level B, and using that space to pre-sell when you're going to move them to level B, or go here to sign up for whatever the next step is in this process, and then coming back and putting your link or your affiliate link into that. That's exactly what we teach. I mean, it's wonderful to see you doing it here.
So let me just kind of throw this out to you folks. Is this the kind of detail, the level of detail that you were sort of expecting here tonight? And I know we haven't actually started into the formatting, but just those couple things. Do you like that?
That definitely has me thinking. You didn't present any of this stuff the last time I heard you, so.
No, this is brand new, dude. I'm telling you.
This is good. This is good stuff. This is the ninja stuff that I was trying to get to. I couldn't think through it without now seeing it. So that's awesome.
Okay, cool. Now, one other thing, because I've been getting some questions. Well, can you add a Facebook share? Yes, you can. You could put that in here as well. Absolutely. I didn't have time to do it because, as I said, I started on this book at 3 o'clock this afternoon. But I wanted to show you this, okay? That this were possible, okay? All right. Oh, one other thing I want to show you in case you don't know how to do this. Back to this point of how to grab your link, your affiliate link, because you've got to sign up as an Amazon affiliate. And then grab it here at link to this page. See, I'll do that again. It's right up here, right up in the top left-hand corner, right above the Amazon homepage. Link to this page. Click it, and then you can see this on this ugly HTML gobbledygook here. And what you're going to want to grab is this part of it right here, basically between the first, well, it's not really the first, but after the href tag here, the first and that very last quote, just like that. This copy, we'll copy that. Come back to the document that we want to put that in, and here's what we did. I just highlighted this, tweet about this recipe, and then insert, and I just put it right in here. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. My bad. That's not the right one. What I did, I'm glad. I actually went to Bitly. And I made a link for that site in Bitly, and that's the link that I used in here. Okay. And by the way, let's just take vanilla here because I want to show you how to do this directly without that extra step because I realize that might be a bit muddy. Let me just show you here. Let's just go to vanilla. And we're going to go vanilla extract here. Okay, and then I like let's do the pure vanilla extract, and I'll give you these, and you can see here, some cool stuff there. And grab link to this page. Do the same thing. It's the first HTTP you see on the page. Go grab it between those two. Quotation marks, copy it, go back to your document, and here's vanilla right here, right? We're going to highlight it, go up to hyperlink, and we'll put it in there. Boom. Paste. Say OK. Great. Now, let's see if it works, right? We'll open it up. It popped, and that is my affiliate link. So bada bing, baby. That's how it works. And as I say, I fully expect that this book will make lots of money over time if it sells. Okay. So that's some of the next level stuff I wanted to tell you there. Let me take this stuff out because that's not appropriate right at the moment. And let's see. Yeah, Janet says, can we use affiliate links not from Amazon? Absolutely, if they are contextual. In other words, it's not just a big, long... this is what Amazon is essentially one of the reasons why they say you cannot insert links primarily used to sell. Because what some goofballs were doing is they were basically loading up books with just a bunch of affiliate links, putting them up, and there was no real value to the marketplace. Okay? If you are adding value, like Dan very quickly figured out, he said, hey, it's a lot easier to buy these maroons, right off of Amazon, and I know the exact maroons you're talking about here, just by clicking this link. You are actually doing a service by doing that. Okay? All right, so we're clear on that. So yes, you can insert other affiliate links, but do so appropriately and sparingly. Okay? And if they give you any problem with it, which I doubt they will,
Daniel Hall told you to do it.
That's right, and that will get you exactly nowhere.
Daniel Hall made me do it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with that said, let me make sure. Let's see it. All right. Let's see. Were people happy with this info? There's a quick way to all those tweet links, so you have to do them one by one. Sharon asked a great question. Is there a quick way to replace all those tweet links, or do you have to do them one by one? Actually, all I did was I put the first one here for this particular one, and then I cut and pasted the rest of them in here. Okay. So I hope that answers your question there. All right. So now let's actually go to our next step, which is design our cover. Now our cover here is actually going to become this page. So let me do this. We're actually going to put now. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this. What is the primary reason that we have a cover? Go now to your the questions box and let me know why do we have a cover? Why do we do that? So you could judge the book. Exactly.
People don't buy content; they buy headlines and covers.
Capture the reader's attention. That's right. Beth got it spot on. Get people to buy. Snazzy colors sell. That's right. Basically, all your folks are saying the same thing, which is basically you can get more attention with a big snazzy cover, right? Well, I'm going to show you. Now, there's lots of ways to do this. I'm going to show you the guerrilla way of doing it. Okay, this way you can make this actually appear and do it quickly, and it looks pretty nice, as I think you will soon agree with me. But let me show you first what we do. I've made a promise implicit in my title. They're going to get 20 American regional favorites ice cream recipes, and that's cool. So we need a picture that captures the attention and that conveys this idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to a place that I
to a place.
Yeah, to a place called PowerPointPics.com. Okay. And they've got some really good royalty-free stock photos. They are about $3 for one picture, about $3 for one picture. But they are, once you buy them, you could use them in this application. So let me just actually go over there. This is going to redirect to Big Stock Photo. So PowerPoint Pics is actually my affiliate link, so you don't pay any more, but I just want you to know that. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, am I logged in here? Yes, I am. Okay, cool. I'm going to type in here American ice cream. Okay. And we're going to search this and see if I haven't actually done this search. We're doing it for the first time. And let's see if we could find anything that captures the attention that we want, right? This is actually a pretty cool photo. Not exactly what I'd be looking for, but almost. That's kind of a cool photo. There we go. That's pretty doggone good right there. I like that. Okay. Do you see how it basically gives us, essentially it communicates. This is one of the things you want to be doing when you're looking for photos to put on your cover. Is you want to communicate, you want to relay the promise that you make in your title on the in your photo. Okay, so here this photo. Let me go back. Let me just see if we can find something a little bit better. If not, at least we have a fallback there. What do you think of that photo? Was that a good photo, Dan? What was your opinion of that?
I like the bikini one myself.
You like the bikini one? Yeah. Let's see.
Probably not the best one though. Wasn't there one at the top that had like 4 bowls of ice cream? It was just lacking.
Yeah, but I want the Americana thing going on. That's yeah. I saw that too, and it caught my eye.
Maybe Americana soda fountain.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's good. That's a good photo. Because it has the American flags. Except, I really want it to be portrait instead of landscape.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that's going to do our job. Now I could. Honestly, I could actually change the size or I could change the orientation of my book and upload it that way. That'd still be cool. You can do that. I'm not going to take the time to do it.
What if you changed your search to Americana ice cream?
Yeah, let's do that. I think we could do that. Why not? No, that didn't.
Nope.
That was not as good as what we had going on. Let's see here. If I don't find something on the second page,
that flag was pretty good though.
The flag was good, and I don't want to belabor the point too much.
Well, here's a question then. If we go with the flag and you make the flag, I'm sure you don't want to make the flag the whole cover because then you have white text on top of it. Do you have a rule for that?
You shall soon see.
All right.
What we're going to do with this. Okay? And I'm going to actually do another thing I don't usually do in tonight's webinar. You're getting my extra special favors, Dan. I hope you realize that.
I'm realizing it.
Okay. Download now. Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and grab this. By the way, I'm going to take the smallest credit. I'm going to go ahead and buy this now. This is going to cost me about, well, it's actually less than because I have credits. If you just buy it one by one, this would cost you $3. But I bought I don't know, I have a bunch of credits that I buy, 25 of them for $49 or something like that. At any rate, I'm going to save that file. Again, because I know where I've got my stuff, I know which folder to put it in. There it is.
It's not a bad photo right there.
It's not. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. There it is. Okay, so we're actually going to take that and do something with it. We're going to make that our cover, essentially. Let me go back, and we're going to do it right here in MS Word. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to put my cursor at the very top of the screen. Go to Picture. Go to my desktop. Go on to Ice Cream. Highlight the photo. Click Insert. And there it is there. All right. And as you can see, it's pretty big, right? It's pretty big. But I may want to make it a little bit bigger. Before I do that, I am going to take this on and put it to the next page here. So just for the time being, I just want to work with this image on this first page. Make that a little larger and see if I can't get it made a little larger, come out a little bit further. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Now, in the MS Word 2010, I'm going to go and I'm going to layer this. Okay. In other words, I want to send it to the bottom of the heap so that I could write over the top of it.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Yeah.
You got to change the order. Move it to the back.
Right. Yeah, is right. I'm going to send to back. Exactly right. If I can find that function here. Okay. Format picture. Insert.
For some reason, your send to back is not highlighted. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why it isn't.
What doesn't it like?
It's not liking something. It's not liking something. All right, well, I'll tell you what. We could do this.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay? So, and obviously, we don't like it like that. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to just do a insert, and no, we can't do it there. Page break. There we go. So that takes care of that, and now we could actually type over the top of this bad boy, and which is what I'm going to do. At least I hope we can. Yep, we can. Right. And let's see. We're going to call this. What are we going to call it? We're going to call it Ice Cream Recipes. Copy. And we're going to paste. And we're going to make that real big. I'm going to actually get something nice, and let's see. We want our stuff to be read very easily, so I'm going to use a non-serif font. I'll actually like Impact, and we're going to make this nice and large. Let's see. And we're going to center it. We're going to, along with centering it, what happened to my eye there? Oh, I know. I didn't get it highlighted. Okay. Impact. And what size did we make that? 72? Yeah. No. It must be 48. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to make this our title. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Hello? Don't want to do that. highlight it, and I want to change the color of this so that it comes through. Let's try it with white. That's getting better. We need a little. What else do we need here? We need a glow on it. So we could do, let's see, maybe that. That looks kind of cool. What about that? That's nice. What about this one? Ooh.
I'm surprised you can actually see that.
Can you see it okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm a bit surprised that even though it's not white, it's quite clear.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard on a dark background, but that looks pretty good.
Yeah. Again, this is a down and dirty way to make covers. Yeah. Could you make it fancier? Absolutely. Do you really want to? Probably not. I mean, it's up to you, obviously, but at any rate, I like that. And you could spend more time playing around with this and making it just exactly the way you want it. But I like this is good enough again for demonstrative purposes. I just wanted to show you what was possible and essentially how to do it. Now the other thing I want to do here, and let's see if this will. Nope, it won't. Well, that's not too bad. There we go. Ooh. Now if I
So what are the rules on the cover?
What do you mean?
Do we have margins and?
No. This is a great point. I'm glad you mentioned this. All right, so here's the deal, folks. Kindle and other ebooks readers are great for us as publishers, as writers, as information product creators. Why? Because the device itself makes our content easily or more easily consumable. And what I mean by that is that as a Kindle owner, these folks will get the ability to change the size and style of their font, and this is one of the reasons why I don't spend a whole lot of time with the formatting. I keep basic default formatting. Right now, this is an 8.5 by 11. It's a portrait, and it's Arial at 12 points. Okay, that's it. The default margins are in here, and that is good enough. That is good enough, and it'll do the job that we want it to do. All right, because Amazon or a Kindle, when we go to upload this as a .docx document, will convert it to a .prc file format, which is the Kindle file format, and it'll make all of this changeable, okay, to the likes and desires of your clients.
So if they want to make it large print, they could make it large print?
Absolutely. So that's one of the reasons why some people do tailspins trying to make the inside of their Kindle book great, look great. But most people don't realize that like I like to keep my text bigger, and I like a different font than what comes in the default. So I change all that. I don't know what the actual metrics are, and I'm sure they probably tested this on how many people change them up. But again, we as information product creators, our primary job is to, of course, first sell our information, but then make sure that people come back for more of our information by making our stuff easily consumable. Okay, and Kindle does that, and that's the beauty of it. All right. Of Cool. So let's say right down here that we've got by. Actually, on a book cover, it's sort of bad form to use the word by. All right, I should say that. But we're gonna call this by Ruby. Yeah. Ruby and Roxanne Mayer. Okay? Ruby and Roxanne are, Roxanne is my standard red poodle, and Ruby is my neighbor's standard red poodle, and that's how I came up with the names. We're going to make that a bit smaller. That's good, and I'm going to actually do something else with this. We're going to go to something like that, that. No. Yes, I like that. Now, if you can see what I just did here, is we've got a red, white, and blue motif going on, right? So we've got the red sort of glow up here. We've got the blue, the blue outline here. Red, white, and blue flag. We're cooking with gas here. All right. So now let's actually throw a save on all this work. Always very important to do. And on this page, we're going to throw in. I'm going to go over here and insert a page by doing a page break. I'm going to do my copyright.
For your table of contents, did you use Microsoft Word's table of contents creator?
Yes, and I really did that only for one primary reason, and that was to I'm going to call this 1001 property solutions. Now, if you had a disclaimer, you wanted to put a disclaimer, this is where you would put it on this page here. Property solution.
Are you talking on page 3?
No, I'm talking on page 2, but I'm gonna move it back up here in a second, assuming that I can. Okay, because this picture may be too big to actually be typing, which is why it may be throwing it onto this other page. Haven't figured that problem out. As I said, I'm doing stuff on this webinar that I don't generally do, just to kind of show you next level stuff. Because I realized, Dan, that you do more of your people want like actual real content, which I always give, but never to this level on a freebie webinar. Okay. And that's the name of my company, and we have put in here a disclaimer. I can't spell either. By the way, you don't have to be really a good writer or a speller to make a lot of money doing this. All right, I just want to make sure we're clear on that point. Disclaimer. Use the...
Hey, I saw that the question in the forum was, how did you make the table of contents? And just so you don't have to go through the whole thing, you might want to YouTube how to make a table of contents in Microsoft Word. It just involves taking your headers and making sure Microsoft Word understands what level each header or each subtitle has, and then it will automatically create a table of contents for you. But I would just search for that on YouTube. You'll find a quick tutorial.
Yep. And yeah, I'll actually show you what Dan just said here real quick. All right, so Simmer, use these recipes at your own risk, and let's see if I can actually get this bad boy up onto this page. Make that a little smaller, and can I actually get it on this page?
I think if you click on that, oh, never mind.
There we did, and that's good. And actually, I want to change this to Meyer. All right, because my neighbor will get very upset with me if I leave his last name in it. All right, cool. And we'll throw a
Now, are you choosing a pen name because you're not in the ice cream niche and you don't need to build a following in that niche?
Correct. Yep, that is correct. I don't want to do that. It shouldn't have done that. There we go.
So don't use a pen name if you're trying to make a name for yourself and you're writing all the stuff you're famous for.
Well, here's the thing. With Kindle, I'm not so sure that, that it would make sense to do names. I mean, if you're building your own core business, absolutely. But if you've got lots of other things like I do cooking, it makes no sense for Daniel Hall to be publishing recipe books. All right, it just doesn't fit with the rest of what the core things that I'm known for and that I want to brand. So you start another brand with the names that you want to use, your pseudonyms, your pen names, right? That's essentially what I'm doing here. Okay.
Even famous authors do it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's a long history in this country going back to the Federalist Papers and so forth of using pen names.
Mm.
All right. So there we go. We've got everything we want in here, and let's throw a save on it. Now, the next thing I want to do here is, oh, by the way, this is a really, really important point, a super important point. If I had, I don't, but if I had a website that I wanted folks to go to, all right, like I was promoting maybe something like ice cream recipes now.com. So if I was doing that particular, in other words, I had a whole thing going on of this, or maybe it was American regional recipes. That would probably be a better one for this particular title. I would put it here on the title and actually make it clickable. And there's another stealth reason why you do that. Okay. And the reason is that if you keep this link clickable here, when people go to do the look inside function, this is actually clickable right directly out of Amazon to your site.
That's cool.
Okay, is that groovy or what? So you want to, and by the way, I use and suggest you use these Kindle books not just to make royalty income and affiliate income, but use it to build your list. Okay, to lead generate. Lead generation is a big part of this. Okay. But I just wanted to show you that as part of today's training. All right, so it's not going to go.
Now,
I
will add that if you're going to do that, to not send traffic to your home page. If you're going to send traffic to your home page, then use Google's URL builder so you can track how many people came from the book to your site. Otherwise, send them to a 20 American regional favorites specific landing page where you welcome them from the book.
Threat has been detected.
And ask them to sign up for your 20 extra recipes that you have.
Yes.
But make sure you can track how many people are clicking on this link.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. I don't want to do that. Cancel. All right. Cool. Okay. Cool. Blah blah blah. We did that one. Let's see. All right, so we did that. Excellent.
So why do you have just the copyright on that page? Why is it not like at the bottom below the contents?
Why isn't it? Well, that's the other thing. You don't want page numbers. You don't want page numbers. You don't want anything in the footer or the header of any of these pages. Okay.
No footer, no.
And you could, if you don't want to do that because it's not gonna translate. It will not come over with your book. Okay, so nothing in the footers or the headers.
So does that make your table of contents dynamic?
It does not. You've got to do some other stuff that I'm not actually going to show you how to do tonight. And it goes actually beyond the scope of what that we have for 60 minutes, which we're actually already over. And in fact, I'm going to take this table of contents out of here, most likely. All right, completely take it out. This is a short book. If it were a longer book, I would worry about it. This is a short book. I'm not worried about it. This is going to end up being 14, 13 pages. No need for a table of contents. Okay, in my opinion.
Excellent.
The only reason why I left it in here and created it in the first place is because I'm going to actually take this, and let's go ahead and do that right now. In fact, copy it, and I'm gonna use that in my description so people could see the recipes they're getting. Okay, that's the only reason I even put it in there. So they were all listed in one place. So I'm actually going to take this out right now.
Oh, let me ask about the quick look inside that you get when you see the book.
Yep.
Do you get just the first 2 pages or first 3 pages on the quick look inside?
Yeah. Well, it's a certain. I believe it's a percentage, and I can't remember the exact percentage, but it's like a percentage of your book. Either it's 10 or 15%, I think.
And is it random, or is it just starting the first?
No, it's usually it's the first couple pages. So, and that's the other thing that you want to do here as well.
Does the table of contents help sell the book then? Being there?
Yes, it does. It helps to sell the book, and if knowing that people will look at the first couple pages, if you want to really pimp this, okay, really make it nice, you would actually write a little bit of a sales letter. In your introduction here. I've not taken the time, effort, or energy to do that. I just don't care enough about this particular book to do that. But if you had a book like that,
pre-sell the book in the quick look.
You got it.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we're going to get rid of all that, and I think we can get rid of that. Go away. There we go. Okay, great. Doo-doo. Okay. And there we go. Now, here's the other thing. Now that we've got our book together, we've got it goes line to line. We like how it looks, and so forth. And I just typed it in here just because essentially it's going to look like this in your Kindle. As far as the formatting, just a little list here, the instructions, list, instructions, list, instructions. That's it. Okay? That's it. The list of ingredients and the instructions. All right.
Do we have any concerns if a recipe goes over the page break line? Or
no, I don't. Okay. No, because the only thing that we're worried about. Remember that we will put in Amazon or Kindle will put in line break or page breaks wherever you put them in. Okay, so this will actually you'll just keep running, and we don't want to put line breaks here in the content until it's over. All right. Like I might want one here on the conclusion, which I actually have a natural line breaks, or excuse me, when I say line break, I was just really mentioning page break. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to Amazon, and over to Google. And type in here, snap a shot. And go grab it. There's the snap a shot tool, so we can take a picture of our nice little cover here. These are the ones we want. right here or here. They're both free. Okay, they're both free. And in fact, let me expose my screen here so that you can see where the icons are. There we go, and you should be able to see down below. So this is what you want here, these two. And then once you've downloaded it, it'll look like that icon right there on my screen. Okay? All right. Cool. Let's see. Now we've got that. We go back here and grab. Go back up to the, because we're actually going to take a picture of this right here. That's what we're taking a picture of. And I'm going to make that a little smaller. Copy to page layout. We want to go to view. That's what I'm trying to look for. There we go.
Control minus.
And we could also do it right down here, or control minus will work as well. Lots of ways to do this. Oops, there we go. Trying to get all that on one page, and there we go. I've got it all there on one page. Very, very nice. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Snap-a-Shot tool. Here it is right here. I don't know whether you can see this or not, Dan.
Nope.
Can you see that? There's like a black outline box that you could actually I'm actually opening it or can you see the black outline here or not?
We can't, which I think is odd, but I think we understand what you're doing. You're drawing a box around the thing, and you're going to take a screen capture shot.
You got it.
I use Jing for the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Now, basically everything in this box, it'll take a picture of. It's like a camera, hence the name Snap-a-Shot, right? So even if you've got problems in here, even if it's got a little squiggly line because you've misspelled something, right? It will actually put that in there as well. So you want to like cure all of that. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's just say that we took this word and you see that little that red squiggly line? That could actually appear on your cover. And let's say that this is a term of art. Maybe this is the name of your business, right? And you want to keep it that way. You can actually just right-click on it and then go to Ignore, and then just get rid of it. Okay? Just get rid of it totally. All right. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that. All right. So now I'm going to do is. Oh, now the other question I get here is, well, Daniel, how big, what size should I make the cover? And my answer to that is I don't care as long as it is at least 750 pixels on its longest side. Now, right down here, for those of you that can see, maybe you cannot, but suffice it to say that there are some numbers given right down here, giving me the width and the height of it in pixels. This says that it's 834 pixels high. In other words, it exceeds my 750 pixels. That's good enough. I'm happy. So I'm going to click my little icon here, and we're going to go up to my desktop. And I'm just going to call it ice cream cover. Save it. Oh, by the way, you're going to want to save it as a JPEG. Save it as a JPEG, not any of these other file formats. Save it. Cool. Let's go back and look at our handiwork and see whether we like it. So there's our cover. You know, for the whatever 5-6 minutes it took me to make it, I think it's you know, badass, actually. I think that's a good word for it. I rather like it. And you know, as I said earlier, you could make these covers better and fancier and all that, but this does the job. So why? Right? Why?
So I came up with another ninja idea.
Let's hear it.
So you got the Snap-a-Shot tool. You can go out and snap pictures of testimonials of the book once you give it to friends or put it on Amazon. And then you could take those pictures, put them back on page 2, re-upload the book, and then in your quick look you would have social proof right inside the book.
I like it. I absolutely like. In fact, I do that with the books I care about. Just exactly that.
That's nice.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for highlighting that. That's a great idea. Okay, so now we have essentially everything we need to go put up this bad boy. So we're going to go do that. Let me go back over here to our Kindle, and let's talk before I do this. Let's talk about KDP Select. Let's talk about this. This is a program, KDP Select. Well, this actually works in tandem or symbiotically with something called Amazon Prime. All right. So, what Amazon Prime is essentially a membership site where for $79 you get things like free shipping on just about everything on Amazon, on movies and television shows that you could watch on your Kindle or watch on your video monitor or your computer monitor. And another part of Amazon Prime is that Prime members can download a free book, one free book a month from in the lending library.
Really?
From the lending library. So when you put your book into KDP Select, essentially you are making it free to Amazon Prime members, right? And you're saying, well, Daniel, I'm not really interested in giving my book away for free. And I'll sell you. I get that. I understand. But here's the rub. What Amazon does is it actually has established a fund. They call it the KDP Select Fund. I think this month, I believe it's $600,000. Okay? And what it does is it takes the total number of downloads for the for that program, for the Amazon Prime program. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it is 1 million. I'm sure it's meant much more than that, but let's, for demonstrative purposes, let's say that it's 1 million. Okay? So what Amazon will do is it will take this $600,000 and divide it by 1 million. And then what they'll do is they will take your total number of downloads, let's say it's 1,000, and it'll be 1,000 divided by 1 million times that sum. It will be what you will get. And essentially what this ends up being is between, say, 50 cents to $1.75 per download that you make on the title.
It's like a stock market.
Yeah, something like that. And then you're saying, well, Daniel, I really want more for my book. Well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Like the book that we're going to put on sale today, I'm going to place it at 99 cents. Because it is at 99 cents, I'm only going to be able to earn a 35% royalty, which means that I will make only about 34 cents, 35 cents when it was sold, when if I put it into KDP Select, I could maybe make up to 50 cents per download. You get it? So what I'm saying is that this is something that for your unique content, in other words, it cannot be public domain. Cannot be public domain. It has to be your own content, and you are giving Amazon exclusive to the content for 90 days in this program. All right. You can also make the book available to the entire Amazon community, not just Prime members, for 5 days during that 90 days. And you're saying, well, why would I do that? Well, because it creates momentum behind the book. You go up on the bestsellers list much easier that way. And when the day ends, because you already have momentum, you still can sell books. You still are probably going to be selling lots more books. Okay? All right. So I wanted to make sure that we're all clear on what KDP is, and I say my final analysis here is test this. Just test it and see. Try it with 90 days on, and then get off the program, and then try it for another 90 days to see how well that particular book does, over 180 days. So you can make up your mind as to which way makes more money for you. Okay? So it's all about testing there. All right. That was that. Now let's go back over here. And we're going to start filling in our details. No, we don't want that. What we want is ice cream recipes 20 American regional favorites. Okay, now, do you want another ninja move? Are you all still with me?
Who doesn't want ninja?
That's
the thing. Who doesn't want a ninja move?
I don't know. I want to hear from my audience. It's something I've got to do. I've got to check in with my audience, make sure that you all are with me. All right. Let me show you another. I'm convinced. Okay. 20 American. So here's what you can do. You realize that you're not the only book in the marketplace, right? So you have the ability to title the book whatever you wish as the author or as the publisher. So what I suggest you to do is title the book, whatever your title is going to be, and then free bonus. Something like that. You make a free bonus offer here. This actually becomes the title of your book. It needs to go on the cover if you do this. And then in your book, back to your book, you make an offer at the end of your book. Hey, I said that you have a free bonus here, folks. Go to this link, and guess what? It's a squeeze page. In order to get the free bonus, they have got to give up their name and email address. Okay? So this is serving two purposes. Number one, you're giving people a reason to buy over your competitor, and you're building your list to boot. Okay? So that is another ninja-like move. You like that? I'm not going to be doing that. Okay, because I'm not going to be doing that with this book. I just wanted to show you that. Now, this book is a part of a series, right? So we're going to call this American Regional Recipes. That's the name of it. That's what I'm going to call it, and this is volume 1. By the way, this is searchable by the search engines, which is the reason why I started with a hot keyword in my title, right? That's what people are going to go to Amazon and search ice cream recipes if they're looking for an ice cream recipe book. So I want mine to come up, obviously, right? Cool. All right, now, and this is also a searchable field. So we could put in here something like this. This would be another keyword. Cookbook. Yeah, that's good. Cookbook. There we go. All right. Then the edition. This is the first edition. We're going to keep that blank. Now, Ninja Move number. Let's see. What is this? Ninja Move number 14. I don't know. It's up there. Let me ask you something. I'm going to throw this out to the audience. When do you want to make the sale of your book? When? Today, right now, yesterday, when do you want your book? When do you want your book to sell? Obviously, right? It's right now. But guess what, folks? Your audience, your prospect is less likely to buy your stuff right now unless you give them a reason to do it. So we've given them one good reason up here, right, with our free bonus. But let me show you another thing that you can do to interject some scarcity into the equation. Some language like this. Something like that. You give people just that little, oh no, I don't want to come back and get this, and get this at a higher price later. Let me just go ahead and get it now. You see that? By the way, folks, I am not telling you here to do something dishonest or unethical or hocus pocus or a marketing ploy here. What I'm saying is that you should institute a program where every month you take a handful of your titles and increase the price of them, even if it's by a quarter, okay? So that you can make good on what you're saying here, because eventually the price will go up, because one of these days you will hit that this title as you publish more and more books. Okay. All right. Now the other thing I want you to see here is this is actually 4,000 characters that they give you to work with. Okay. So I say use as many of them as you can, all of them. And this is where, when you see this description area, I want you to think essentially two things. I want you to think sales page, and I want you to think keywords. Okay? Sales page, keywords. All right? So, in other words, sell your book here. Sell it. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm not actually going to take the time to write something, but or rewrite something, because I actually already have it written up here in about the 300 words that I wrote on this book today, which is right in here. This is all good sales copy right here. So I'm going to copy it, take it back over here, paste. Now this has ice cream, and if it doesn't have ice cream recipes, it should be. I should have it in here. And I want to put as many of my keywords in here. Here is the list of ice cream recipes. Ice cream. That's really the keyword that I'm gunning for here, obviously. As taken from the table of contents. I think I put that over here in this document, so let me grab this, copy it, and paste it in here. Get rid of these numbers. There we go. And people can see where these things are coming from. There we go. Cool. And there's our nice list for folks to see, that so they can see what they're getting. And grab your copy now. All right, so we have a little bit of a call to action in there. And we're going to add our contributors. We're going to add Roxanne Meyer, and we're going to select our author, add another author. We're going to put in Ruby Meyer, and we're going to save. Oh, we're going to add as an author, save. All right, cool. Now this is English, so that's cool. I'm gonna keep this blank where it says optional, because you cannot make a date into the future. But I suggest keep your stuff as evergreen as long as possible. So don't unduly necessarily date it in the past unless there's a really good reason to do so. We'll keep that. Now here is where if I had a URL, I would put my URL in here. That's again because I want people to find me if they want to find me. I want them to know where. If not, what I'm going to put in here, because this is also a searchable field, is my keywords. Ice cream recipe books. Okay? Something like that. The ISBN I leave blank. I don't go and buy one of those. All right, cool. Now, the next thing I want to do here is, well, let's see. This is really important. Remember I said earlier that you can publish public domain books?
Has been detected.
And this is what I'm talking about. You have to tell them if it's a public domain book, and here's what happens. In order to provide a better customer buying experience, we have the specific publishing guidelines for public domain books, and let's actually take a look at them. Because essentially, even if you're publishing public domain books and you're first on the scene with the book, you are staking the claim for that title henceforth and evermore, such that everyone that comes behind you with that exact title, that exact public domain book, would have to do one of these three things if they wanted to publish their book. They'd have to do a unique translation of it, they would have to annotate it, or, and this is really the easiest thing to do, they'd have to illustrate it, which could be 10 public domain illustrations. So it's not really all that different to actually make that work. Okay. Okay. So all right, we're cool with that. We understand that. Let me go back here. Close that. Now I told you earlier that this is mostly taken from public domain content. But it's taken from public domain content from multiple sources, okay? Which I'm going to teach in the bonus webinar for those of you that take me up on my offer tonight. That will immediately precede this webinar. But if you do that, if you take and you add value, if you essentially do a derivative work, which is what I've done here with this. That derivative work is legitimately copyrightable, okay? Which means that it's no longer a public domain work. And I could say right here, this is not a public domain work, and I hold all the necessary publishing rights, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. Because it's a derivative work. A good rule of thumb on derivative works, by the way, is a 45% change in the content. In other words, you're changing it up about 40 to 45%. Of course, that's arguable, but that's a really good rule of thumb. All right. So it's not just a little bit, not a word here or there. It's major changes, which is what I did tonight with this particular book. Okay. All right. So we're going to add this to a category. By the way, you could add up to 2. I suggest you add 2, not 1. And what we're going to do is cooking. And we want probably under courses and that. And is ice cream in the list? No ice cream.
Dessert.
So let me just grab desserts. And we're going to go boom. That's it there. I like that. And is there any other ones here that work for us? Confectionery. That works for me. We're going to save that. And then now it says here, search, do your keywords. And I'm going to put in here ice cream recipe. And I'm also going to put in here frappe recipe, and I'm also going to put in here, what other words do we have in this book that make sense? We've got ice cream, ice cream, ice cream. We've got mousse, we've got to do that. We got pudding, we could do that.
We got regional dishes.
Got regional dishes, exactly. In fact, I think that's probably the next one I'll put in there.
If this is your niche, you should know some of your big keywords that people search.
Exactly. This would be this is what you would want to be filling in here. Now, for me, this is not my actual niche for this book, because I did something special for for Dan tonight in coming up with this. But yes, you would definitely want to do your keyword research to figure out what these 7 words should be. So right now I'm effectively guessing, which I'm telling you not to do. Okay, and we're going to put in here ice cream, dessert.
I will say there's quite a few people who actually add the word book to their searches on Amazon as opposed to on Google.
Yes, that's probably true. So we can add that in there as well. And that you get the idea. We don't need to go belabor that. And that's good enough. I'm happy with that. For demonstrative purposes. Now we're going to come grab our image. Remember the cover we made earlier? Let's go grab it. It's on my desktop here, and where is that? There it is there. Copy it, open, upload image. And let me check for questions while we're doing that. Oh, that's a great keyword, by the way. Thanks, Rick. Rick says homemade ice cream. I like that.
Yep. Homemade is a big keyword in the Easter niche, too, if you add the word homemade to any of your Easter things.
There we go. Excellent. I left this blank because this is optional, and I don't want to pay for an ISBN number for a book I'm going to sell for 99 cents. Okay, that's the reason I left, because it's optional, number one, and this is really just a kind of a throwaway book. It's not a throwaway book, but that's the reason. Essentially, I want to actually even for those books I really care about, I don't fill this in. I don't go out and buy a $25 ISBN number. I do not. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to upload our book. And it says here, enable digital rights management. Or not enable digital rights management. And when you see this, DRM, what you should think about is, and what it's really asking you is, do you want minimal security or maximum security? Because that's really what it's asking. And you're probably saying, well, Daniel, don't you always want maximum security? And my answer to that is maybe, maybe not. Depends on the intent of the book. If you want your book to be primarily a lead generator, then you want as many eyeballs on it as possible, and you want as many people being able to share it and share it around as possible. So in that case, I would say do not enable digital rights management. Or if you have a back end on your book, in other words, it leads people. It's part of your sales funnel, and it leads people into like a high-price coaching program, for example, or some sort of a higher-priced product or service. Then I would not enable digital rights management, even though it's good work. Enabling digital rights management here for this book is what I'm going to do, because I know that chances are the only money that I'm going to ever make with this book is when I get royalties on it. Now I could possibly get people clicking on those links. That probably will happen, clicking on some of those links, the Amazon links in there, the affiliate links. But for this particular work, I'm just going to set digital rights management to enable it. All right, so I keep it at complete maximum security on my book. All right, then I'm going to browse for the book, and before I do this, I want to go ahead and throw one more save on it just to make sure that we're getting the right book. And I just keep it in .docx file, and we're going to browse, open. And then we're going to upload. And while we do that, I'm going to look at some of the questions here. So it's uploading now. All right, so I want to check in with you. Yeah, Sherry says, so the bonus stuff actually has to be on the cover. yes, or they will probably kick it back. You have, as the author, the right to do that. Why did it kick me back here? I want to upload the book. It needs to go grab that. Hopefully, it won't kick it back on us this time. But essentially, Sherry, you as the author of the book, you need to be able to name it whatever you want to name it. So you could actually name, you could, include the name free bonus, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. So we're going to go to save and continue here. And now the next thing it says here is, well, hold on, let's go back here for a second and actually take a look at this. I'm going to enroll this in KDP Select. And we can actually preview the book. See what it'd be looking like. Cool. All right, I'm happy with this. What I'm primarily doing is I'm looking to make sure that it goes line to line, line to line, line to line. It doesn't go off. It's all formatted in here, right? So again, I'm happy enough with this. So we're going to close that. Oh, by the way, you could do that. You could actually do enhanced previewing here for a book like this. Not necessary. Okay. We cover some of this more advanced stuff in my actual training. But again, for books like this, this is good enough. I'm going to save and continue. Keep on trucking. So right here, we're going to choose worldwide rights because I have worldwide rights on it. And all right, now let's come down here to everyone's favorite part, which is talking about the money. And you see here that says that you have a 35% and a 70% royalty, right? And you're saying, well, Daniel, given the fact that I can get a 70% royalty, why on earth would I take a 35% royalty? Well, let's explore that. Essentially, if you take the 35% royalty, it tells you right here that you could price your book anywhere between 99 cents and $200. Now, let's just say that I think a lot of this book. And I am going to price it at $200. All right? I think a lot of these recipes. And it just tells me real quick here that my estimated royalty is going to be $70. And I'm saying, $70 looks good, but $140 would look much better to me, effectively doubling the 70, right? So I'm going to choose the 70% royalty. When I do that, look what Amazon tells me. It says, no way, Charlie. If you're going to take the 70% royalty, then you must price your book between $2.99 and $9.99, right? So this is Amazon's carrot and stick to get as many of its independent authors, independent publishers as possible in this price range. Now, for me, in this particular book, it's not going to work. It usually does work on me, but it's not going to work today because I want to price this book at 99 cents. Okay? 20 recipes, 99 cents is I feel, a fair price. So there we go. And it tells me I'm going to make 35 cents on each book that we sell there. Bully. Well, I like that. Now, if I had maybe 40 recipes in here or more, I may actually try to sell this at $2.99. I just, I gotta sleep at night. I want to feel that I'm given a good value in the marketplace. 99 cents is about right, I feel. Now, the other thing too is you could sell your book on these other sites: Amazon UK, Amazon Deutschland in Germany, Amazon France, España, and Italy. and it will just queue off this. If you check this little radio button here, I guess that's a radio button, little check marks, it will queue, it will key off of whatever price you put up here. So it just tells you those right along there, those lines there. Okay, cool. Now, because it is a 35% book, I can either allow lending of the book or not allow lending of the book. I'm going to not allow it for this book because actually I do want to allow it. Why? Because I could maybe possibly spread my affiliate links for Amazon around that much easier. Okay? So let me just go ahead and leave it in the lending program. If, however, up here I took the 70% royalty and I priced my book at $2.99 to $9.99, then this would be a requirement. I could not opt out of this. All right? Then we're going to say, yes, I have all the rights. We're going to save and publish that bad boy. Ready? We're making magic happen here. This is initiating publishing. This may take a moment. I'll go back over to questions. All right. No, I don't see any pending questions there. Unless I missed one. Maybe I did. Yeah. Ute asked, you did not put in your recipe book into Prime because you said it was PD, right? Yes, that's right. With the KDP Select, if you say that it is public domain and it actually is public domain work, then it is not eligible for the KDP Select. All right, which is yet another reason why you want to do derivative works. And here it tells you right here, the KDP Select Fund, it was $600,000 in March, okay? And they'll divvy it up just the way I said. Okay, cool. So, that's how it's done, folks. Let me just show you a few titles here of people that have gone through the same exact, well, actually, very similar, not the same exact, because I've never showed what I showed tonight, ever, with all that really cool stuff. But essentially a very similar presentation, and just that quick, I have people sending me their listings, and I dig that. You know, I really, really dig that. And even our good friend Dan Morris is in the mix, because Dan is actually publishing his blog, Letters from Dan, micro payments, 99 cents. Go buy Dan's blog and download it to your Kindle, and that can be done. And I dig that, by the way, Dan. By the way, some of your Kindles can become bestsellers. Here's a couple of mine: How to Find Public Domain Works and Make Money with Them, Erasing Your Criminal Background Legally, The Ultimate Guide to Second Chances. And I have many, many best-selling books. So, did you have something you wanted to add here, Dan, or not? I thought I heard you.
No, I'm interested in the bonus webinar.
Okay, we're going to talk about that momentarily here. First off, what I want you to understand is that Kindle is just one small part of the equation. Your content must also be in physical books and also made available on the iPad and the Nook. I always get the question, Daniel, how should I publish my stuff? Where should I publish my stuff? And I say, how do you know how your people are finding you? Do they have an iPad? Are they going to the iBookstore? Do they have Nooks? Are they going to the BarnesandNoble.com? Do they go into Amazon? Where are they going? Are they accessing this stuff from apps on their computer or their Android phone or their iPhone? You don't know. Therefore, your stuff really should be in as many different formats and through as many different channels as you can make happen. Now, I showed you some next level stuff tonight, and I realized that some of you are saying, well, wow, it was good, but can I actually implement this? Can I actually make some of this stuff happen? Well, I will say this, that you probably will not without some help, even as good as tonight's webinar was, okay? And the reason for that is it's difficult to actually implement new material and get the results that you want, right? And let me explain how this milieu works, how this environment works. For just a moment, I want you to imagine it's your very first day of high school, and you're this bright-eyed, eager freshman. Now, I'm going to represent to you, I was not an eager freshman. I was anything but. But for just a second, I want you to imagine that you are an eager freshman in high school. And you walk into your first class ready to soak up knowledge, and in comes your teacher. He or she walks up to you, drops a big, thick textbook on your desk, and says, there you go. I'll be back at the end of the semester to give you your final. And this happens in your next class, the class after that, and every class until the end of the day. The teacher walks in, drops a big textbook on your desk, and then you don't see him again until 18 weeks later, at which time you have to take your final based only on what you read, only on the product, only what you got without any additional instruction. And that test determines whether you pass or fail the class. Now, here's my question for you. If this would have happened in high school, how well do you think you would have done? Now, I am willing to admit, to confess to you, that if it were me, I would still be a freshman. And my guess is that most of you on this webinar would still be trying to pass the 9th grade too. You see, that's exactly what happens when you buy most information products. You get all that information dropped on you all at once, and then you never hear from the information provider again. Well, sometimes you do, but it's usually to buy some big box of stuff, some bigger, grander, much more expensive training, right? And that's the only help you get. You just get more stuff. So when you understand the milieu in that way, when you understand the environment in this way, it's no wonder so many of you have trouble succeeding. Now, I want to make sure I'm really, really clear on this point as well. Standalone products are okay, and they have their place. In fact, I'm telling you to create lots of standalone products like Kindle books. Kindle books are standalone products. But for the most part, standalone products are for people that don't have more than a few nickels to rub together and they can't afford anything else. And for heaven's sakes, if that's you, then by all means do what you have to do to get out of that situation. I mean, I have shown you here completely transparently how to set up Kindle books. However, if you're someone who is serious about your future and serious enough to invest in the right tools that will help you achieve your goals, then I have something that will help you succeed where all others fail. And by the way, this is something more than just another information product. It is, in fact, realfastbook.com/Dan. And by the way, Dan, you might want to put that in the chat area and send that out to everyone. But at Real Fast Book, we show people just like you how to crank out high quality, highly profitable books real fast. I'm talking about Kindle books, Nook books, I'm talking about physical books, all right? I'm talking about all of that. Because at Real Fast Book, it is a 6-month video training. Now, you can go much quicker than 6 months, but it's meant to be consumed for the rank beginner through a 6-month training. And this is where I'm going to take you gently by the hand and show you exactly how to research and write your book, produce and publish your book, and promote and sell your book. Now, obviously, I'm going to start talking about my offer here, okay? So I want you to understand that. But even as I do this, even as I start to talk about my offer here, I'm going to continue to give you good, immediately usable information, like what I'm about to say right now. Because do you see where it says research here?
really, this is market research. What I've seen so many times is authors that will get an idea for a book, information product creators get an idea for a product, and they just haul off and create it or write the book, sometimes spending months, sometimes years in the process. One big problem. They get the product out, they get the book out, nobody buys it. Okay? No one wants the book. So what I want you to do is, obviously, I don't want that to happen to you, because I want you to write a book, publish a product that people actually will pay money for, right? Because the fact of the matter is that you have a bailiwick, a core central knowledge base, and you could write or create or publish any number of thousands of books just using with what is between your ears at this very moment in time and space. Okay? The trick is in figuring out the lowest hanging fruit, in determining what product, what books stand the highest likelihood of success in the marketplace. So if you don't learn market research from me, okay, for heaven's sake, learn it from somebody, because it's a really, really important point. But we're also going to show you how to write your book and write it very, very quickly. Like, for example, I wrote this little 11-page book tonight. I didn't write all of it. I wrote about 300 pages of, or excuse me, 300 words of it. But I show you how to do this. In fact, I'm going to show you how to do this in the bonus webinar that's going to come up for those of you that invest in this offer tonight. So that you can actually write your book in a day or a week, maybe max. Not months, certainly not years. Okay, I'm talking about turning out product quick. And here's the other really cool thing I want you to understand. These books, when you do them right, become financial assets. And they are cumulative in nature. In other words, the book that you publish now in March of 2012 will still be selling, or potentially selling, in March of 2012, 14, 15, 16, 17, and on, ad infinitum. For as long as Amazon's around, as long as you are doing books in the right way, kind of like what we're doing here tonight. We're publishing an evergreen book here tonight, right? People probably 150, 200 years from now will still like ice cream and still want ways to make it. All right. So we show you how to do that. The other thing we show you how to do is produce and publish your books. And I'm talking about everything from cover creation. I showed you the down and dirty way. We get much more detailed in the actual training. We show you how to set the margins in your gutters in your book, how to put in all of the page numbers and how they should look, where they should be, how to set your margins, and these are in printed books. Everything on how to produce and publish them and self-publish these books. And I know I can hear some of you saying or thinking to yourselves, well, I don't really want to self-publish. Sounds like too much work. I think I would rather either go to direct to a publisher or vanity publisher or just outsource it, which is fine. I don't have any issues with that. But here's the rub. I don't want you to go to an outsourcer, for example, and pay $500 for a $5 job. Okay? So essentially what I'm telling you is that this training will help you become an informed consumer if you want to outsource everything, so that you know how much things are and what goes into the actual making of the book, what things are expensive, what things aren't, what things take more time, etc. Very important you understand that. Also, we're going to show you how to promote and sell your book. Promote and sell it. By the way, not just promote it and sell it today, but sell it tomorrow, the next day, the year after that, the year after that, throughout the rest of your life. When you have left the scene, when you've left the planet, actually start paying into your estate and eventually pay to your progeny, okay, to your heirs. That's the kind of books that I want you to create, and the kind of books we show you how to create in realfastbook.com/Dan. All right. So let me do a real quick rundown here. We're going to show you how to write books that sell. We already said that. We're also going to show you how to build reoccurring income and other profit centers in your book. Now, I showed you one very cool one tonight. Okay? I showed you one. But there's a whole host of other ones that I show you within the training itself. Okay? And what I want you to understand about this one bullet point, by the way, is that if you do this one bullet point correctly, you don't need to sell that many books to make a princely sum of money. Okay? Just as one bullet point. Also, we show you how to get testimonials from famous folks in your market niche and other influence centers. Now, what you may not know about me is that, among other things, I'm a nurse and an attorney. I have licenses and degrees in both professions and don't do either one of them, right, to make my living. But I wrote this book called Erasing Your Criminal Background Legally, and when I finished it, I really wanted some high-level endorsements from paragons in my field. So one of the things that this training is going to show you how to do is how to get testimonials from famous folks in your market niche and other influence centers. Like, for example, we got Professor Alan Dershowitz down here, who is a Harvard law professor. He was on OJ's Dream Team. He is a New York Times best-selling author many, many times over. He's probably one of the smartest guys on the planet. Okay, very just brilliant dude. He endorsed my book. So did Roy Black. He's the guy that very famously got acquittals for William Kennedy Smith and Rush Limbaugh, and even Jeffrey Feiger, who represented Dr. Jack Kevorkian in every single one of his acquittals. And in fact, the only time Jack was ever convicted of a crime, he was representing himself. A lot of people don't know that. Okay? But what I want you to understand is I'm this backwoods attorney down here in Corpus Christi, Texas, and these are legal paragons, okay, legal superstars in my world, and they would have never given me the time of day without a book. Further, when people like this say things like this in your books, give you these kinds of endorsements for your books, they are essentially giving you an implied third-party endorsement for your whole competencies, everything that you're doing in your business. Do you see how by getting testimonials like this in your core business, that your stock in your market rises because of them? Because if they're saying this stuff about your book, it is understood that they are likewise saying it about your abilities and competencies. So again, this is another very important point. If you don't learn how to get testimonials from famous folks from me, learn it from somebody, because this is really, really powerful stuff. Okay? Get it. All right. Also, we show you how to get as many 5-star reviews on Amazon as you want, ethically, honestly. We also show you, now this one right here is a big, if you are looking for long-term wealth, this is your bullet point, okay? Because this is actually about 2/3 of the Real Fast Book training is building an author's platform of raving fans who will want to buy everything you ever write or create. Now, Dan, I bet you have people, and I know I certainly do, that every time I come up with something new, they just buy it. They don't even have to think twice about it, because I have taken the time, effort, and energy to do this, to build an author's platform. All right? Very important that you understand. This is your long-term wealth bullet point right there. That puppy right there. Very, very important. All right. But that's still not all, because the other thing we're going to show you is how to actually set up your Amazon Author Central page so it's all automated. And you want as much real estate on Amazon as possible, so we show you how to set one of these up, how to automate it and auto update it. Okay? We'll show you that. We also show you, oh, this is a cool thing. This is another one of my books. I actually sell this book for $247. This is a print book, okay, print book. And we use article marketing just to sell this book and the training that surrounds this book. And believe it or not, this book sells for $247 on Amazon. We've made sales there, okay? Just using this strategy with article marketing. Just that, all right? So that's another part of the process. We also show you how to use the power of podcasting to sell more books. And you say, well, Daniel, what about why this is an authorship? This is a book thing. Why are you telling me about podcasting? Well, again, this gets back to platform building as an author. And we show you not only how to do podcasts, but actually put them up in the only podcast directory that really matters, which is iTunes. Okay? Show you that. How to set up an effective Squidoo page for your books. Even establish your own free internet television show. But, you know, all of that is essentially product. All of that is essentially training. Here is the big, big difference. You get support, because at realfastbook.com/Dan, we have a community forum where members support each other, and I am frequently in there answering questions myself, because I know that you're going to get through this training and you're going to have questions. You're going to say, well, where's Daniel? What does he have to say about this? You essentially have access to me through our community forum. Okay? I wanted to be very clear. So you're saying, well, who is Real Fast Book for? Well, it's for those who want to publish profitable books and those who want to make the books that they already have more profitable. So here's tonight's offer. This is a 6-month training, as I said, and it is only a $229 investment. But I'm going to make this so drop dead easy for you to decide on, because I've actually created a payment plan. That's right, it's only $7 to get started for a 14-day trial, and then it's $37 per month for 6 months thereafter. That's, by the way, how I came up with the $229. Is we did 7 plus 37 times 6, $229. What I want you to understand about this is that you can cancel it at any time if you, for whatever reason, aren't satisfied with it. The question is, why do this right now? Because literally, I'm going to ask you to do it right now. You see, I want you to take the steps necessary to getting a high profit book out fast, or taking an already existing book to the next level. So what I'm going to do here is for everyone who goes to realfastbook.com/Dan and starts their $7 trial while we're on this webinar, we'll get a bonus webinar. I've been talking about it all along on where to get content to publish to Kindle tonight, the glories of public domain. And I'm actually going to take you through step by step how I created the book that we did tonight in about 3 hours. Okay, from the very beginning to the very end, using primarily public domain content. And this is really, really important that you learn how to use public domain content, because you do want as many Kindle books, Nook books, iBookstore books as you can out in working for you, because as I said, they build on one another. They're cumulative. They keep working. All right. This content is solid gold. And by the way, if you love what I gave you here tonight for free, oh, mamma mia, what you'll get when you actually pay me a little something. Okay? Now, the only catch to this is I'm doing this special webinar right after this one. So everyone who invests tonight, please stay on this webinar, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to go make your $7 investment right now at realfastbook.com/Dan. And to recap, every person who invests in Real Fast Book during this webinar will get an extra training that, again, you can use to find quality content to publish tonight, okay? And everyone who invests will get some of the best training and support for cranking out high-quality, high-profit books real fast. And, again, you can cancel this at any time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over here and take you to this link, and I'm going to show you how to go about ordering. So we're going to go realfastbook.com/Dan. And it takes us to this page here. Let me take a sip of water. Now, I know some of you are saying, hey, Daniel, I thought you said this thing was just $7. What is the very first thing I see at the very top of the page? It says, add to cart, $157. What's that noise all about? Well, let me tell you what that noise is all about. Take a sip of my water here. Here's the deal, folks. Let me actually make this a little smaller so you can see everything on one size screen here. The $7 offer is right below the video. Okay, $7 for those of you that are looking is right there. All right. Now, for those of you that want instant access, you get instant access to the entire training. You can get the entire training for $157 tonight. Okay, you get instant access to everything. If budget is an issue, you know, if you're still kicking the tires, you're still not sure about me, okay, fine. This is the $7 offer right below here. I will say that if you take this one, $157, you are going to save $72 over this. This is drip fed. Okay, so you are not going to get the whole kit and caboodle down here. You're going to get one lesson a week for 6 weeks, or excuse me, for 6 months, excuse me. And by the way, you and I are establishing a long-term relationship tonight. So I just tell you how it's going to be. I just tell you, on the 14th day, your card will be charged. I don't hide this. It's right here. After your 14th day, your card will be charged $37 monthly reoccurring for 6 months. You cancel at any time. Okay. So that is the deal there, and I don't care which one of these deals you take. I really don't. Both of them will get you into the bonus webinar, but you must do one of them to get into the webinar. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to go do that now. And Dan, if you have something you want to add here, that's cool. By the way, yes, you do get instant access, and you get to keep access for forever. Okay, for as long as I'm around. Okay, it's not just for 6 months. I want to make sure we're clear on that. And there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, except for the $7. I wanted to say that. I'm about to give you massive value. Okay, I'm not going to refund the $7 after the massive value I'm going to do on the very next webinar. Worth 700 times what I'm going to charge you if you take that option. Just what I'm going to show you on this webinar. Okay, Dan, back to you. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get that in before I.
No. I was going to say I'm recording the screen right now, so I'm not going to go do that at the moment. But I am going to take you up on your offer.
Cool, man.
There's some stuff in there, the authors platform, you know, some of that other stuff that both Darren and I, we haven't really spent that much time on it. So I definitely would like to learn that. And I will say, if anyone else does this tonight, we'll bump up your free weekly mastermind subscription to the next one. So if you're on the annual, we'll bump you up to lifetime. If you're on the monthly, we'll bump you up to annual.
Wow.
If you're willing to take, if you're willing to do that, invest in yourself, then we'll give you access to all that other content at Free Weekly Mastermind. Like this call will be, you know, just for premium members.
Wow, man. Thank you. That's awesome that you did that, Dan.
Well,
Um,
I actually didn't. I didn't really even think about your offer before the call, whether I was going to take you up on it. I didn't spend any time thinking about it, and I got to say, I'm pretty sure that I will be much smarter after that time, learning all that stuff. I like being smarter.
yes, I do too. I like working smarter and then putting my assets into play in smarter and smarter ways. I will probably. By the way, there's so many other bonuses I haven't even told you about that are already in the members area. I didn't want the close to go on for an hour. But just suffice it to say, you know, that's the other thing. Let me for those of you that are on the fence here, there's another thing that I do that I typically will do it every couple of weeks, although it's not a promise, but I will do actually a second bonus webinar, one that I call Writing What Sells. And this is where I'll teach you what to look for and how to discover whether the topic that you are thinking about writing is is a potential winner before you take the time or waste the time, effort, and money in actually developing it. This will be done probably in the next, well, for sure in the next 14 days, so that you can get in on it within the 14-day time frame. But that is also a part of this deal. Okay, so there you have it, sports fans.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about your offer. Actually, I didn't really think about it, but I'm pretty excited about it. As soon as I'm done recording the screen, I'm on it.
Okay, man. Cool. All right. So what I'm going to do here is we have questions here. Blah blah blah. What we got here question-wise? Sherry says, where and
Hello,
what
my name is Daniel Hall, and welcome to Real Fast Book.
Text over the image. Yeah, let me show you that. I went here. Let's go up to our image. I think I did format picture. Actually, I did. This is what I did. Wrap text and then behind text right down here. Okay. Hope you got that. Oh, by the way, yes, we show you how to do Nook in the similar way. Yes, Mary Jo, Nook is in there as well. I do not have the iBookstore training in here, and that's primarily because I haven't yet figured out a way to make it work with PCs. It does not play nice with PCs. You have to be an Apple person. All right. You know, and I should say one other thing here, one other bonus that you get. I could actually there's actually what amounts to a $2,500 Amazon bestseller program in the training. It's actually a part of the training. It's another thing I didn't mention earlier, but we could show you how to make your book on Amazon an Amazon bestseller, so that you can call yourself an Amazon bestseller. Okay, and there are people right out today that sell the very, very similar Amazon launch strategy for $2,500 and even more. Okay, so if you've ever dreamed about becoming a best-selling author, it's prestigious and it looks good in your marketing materials, by the way. And it also gives you more and better exposure to a wider audience, because once you're on the bestseller list, more people, more eyeballs on your stuff. It's easier to get media coverage. And there's also a higher potential, although no promises here. Actually, no promises on any of this, but it just you're increasing your probabilities of success and even increasing your potential for foreign language rights authors. Okay? So, all right. Other questions here. Yeah, you're going to go back here. That's where you're going to go. realfastbook.com/Dan. And Dan, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let you have the floor here for a couple minutes while I take a bio break and grab some more water. And then when I come back, we'll answer some more questions, and then I'll tell everyone that is invested. In fact, let me set a timer here for you. Well, we will start the bonus webinar in 15 minutes. The time to grab this this offer is within the next 15. Okay, Dan, I'm muting myself, and over to you.
Sweet. All right. Let's see what else do we have on here. So this has been our longest webinar yet, but I will say that I'm not sure. I'm not a huge fan of 2.5 hours or 3 hours, but I really don't think that cutting it short or skimping on some of that stuff or glossing over it would have been very helpful. Even those little things like which radio buttons to press, I think is really going to help us move forward on that. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm looking here. Anybody want to be unmuted? Is Darren back yet?
I am back.
These are things I do not... Oh, you are back. So, did you get to hear any of the rest of that?
I was out for about an hour there with the other call, so I did catch the first hour and a half. The last hour I've missed, but I had the screen right there, so I was watching it and making up dialogue in my head, which was completely
making up dialogue. That's brilliant.
It made absolutely no sense, and it had a strange Australian accent for some reason. So
yeah, I like to write with a British accent sometimes. I understand what you're talking about. So in his offer, I don't know if you got to see any of that, but the whole idea behind, Tony Ladig does a pretty extensive program on public domain, and I've thought about it for a long time. But this program's got the public domain information, using that as market research, as part of it. And the whole reason you want to do public domain anyways for books and products. So I think that particular angle will be helpful.
definitely, and I it was funny because I remember as soon as you came back from the last NAMs, you were telling me about the public domain stuff and how pumped you were about it. So
yeah, it's so interesting, the public domain stuff. I wish, I was so busy working at NAMS that I didn't get to really go to any of the sessions. But I got to sit in on a part of Tony Ladig's, and just learning about public domain was so interesting. He was showing, and this is probably going to be part of Daniel's training, but showing just, one guy he found some old maps and some public domain content that he researched, and took the maps, images of the maps, and made a book of the maps. And it sold like 9,900 copies at $14.95 each. And really that was just the product of him doing the research to find what people were looking for. Because obviously, if you buy a book of old maps for $14.95, that's something that you were looking for. That's not a candy bar at the checkout. That's not an impulse buy.
no, not at all.
Just the whole concept behind that is very interesting. And we started this call off talking about the different ways, different kinds of things you could use to make an ebook. And Daniel said, he said old high school reports. And, I sort of chuckled at that, as if anybody's going to do that. But then, we're going through this thing, and for this webinar, he actually created, an ice cream recipe book. He didn't just call some stuff together to teach us how to do it. He actually used his time wisely and created a new asset. So if you had an old report, I used to write reports on manatees. Every single year, that's the report I would write. I didn't care what class it was. I picked manatees. So biology, manatees. English, manatees. So, I knew everything there could be to know about manatees. I could easily publish that as a book. It's got all the sources in it, because you got to do a bibliography in high school. I mean, just turning something like that into a revenue machine, an asset. Who would have thunk?
No, and I cut the part about the affiliate links, basically linking itself back into Amazon. I think that's, perfect, right? You're not linking off to some WSO that has absolutely no relevance. You're taking them to the things that they would write down and say, where the heck do I find these at the grocery store? And
yeah, pretty strategic way to put the links in.
Yep. And
I don't even know what a maroon is. I thought he spelled it wrong, and it was supposed to be macaroon, but I mean, I looked over that document that he had, and it seems like maroon is something else entirely.
Yeah.
Makes me want to try it.
I haven't got an idea, but we do have a couple questions that have come in. Michael's asking, how will you know we are in so you change your membership level? Well, Michael, just forward your receipt over to Dan, and then he will forward it to me, and I'll change the membership level.
Excellent. Dan at lettersfromdan.com or Dan at freeweeklymastermind.com.
Yeah.
What else was a eureka moment was he found that I am publishing my blog on Kindle, which I knew that I had applied, but I had no idea it was approved, or I didn't even know to look. I just I just applied, and there it was. So that was cool to see.
That is cool. Let's see, we got another question
You
here.
want to write more?
Okay, Dan, I am back, guys. Thank you for giving me a little bit of a bio break there. Appreciate that.
Excellent. So, Daniel, there's a question from Rick here. It says, do we need to go somewhere to register for the webinar that follows?
Stay put, and I will give you instructions when the time is. By the way, for those of you that the bonus webinar is only for folks that have invested in the offer. I see the orders coming in, and I can see who's still here, and please don't make me be impolite and actually kick you off the call. I will do that if I have to, so please don't make me. If you want to do the offer, great. I want you to. I mean, I think that's just awesome. But if you don't want, if you're not doing it, then you can't be here for the bonus. That is only a members only deal. Okay, so I want to be really clear on that as well.
You know what? I don't know if the word is sad, but I think it is that in Free Weekly Mastermind, I'm not sure we have programmed our people, but everyone knows that the recordings are available. So, people who register for all of them end up, watching them. I imagine we'll get 100 views of this week, maybe 200 really. So I guess that goes to the training your audience, as a marketer, to take advantage of live events because you get extra special stuff.
Yep, you get extra special stuff. And that's exactly one of the reasons why I do it. And just from a marketing standpoint, I know that a bunch of your folks are marketers. I'm also giving people a reason to buy right now. I want my money right now. Dan wants his money right now. We don't want you to wait until tomorrow or the next day or the next day after that, because chances are you won't do it later, right? So we give you a reason to do it now. Okay. So I hope
Daniel, you
understand
have
the
so
stuff
much
behind
email.
the stuff here.
What was that, Darren?
No, I was just saying that. All right, so I just put up Dan's email. Dan at freeweeklymastermind.com was for Michael. I think was asking for that. I'm saying, Daniel, I was missing the last hour of the webinar. I kept seeing the virus thing pop up, so you must get a ton of email from spammers. There's a couple questions I want to get out here before our timer runs down. Dan asks, so that could make black holes just asking this question. But Dan, you mentioned you put the word book in as a keyword. I noticed if you search a keyword in the Kindle store, it makes suggestions, and I see that Kindle book usually comes up. Is that why? Can you give me a good reason for that?
Well, traditionally, in every search engine, and I'm talking specifically about Google, Bing, YouTube, and Amazon, not so much Twitter. People tend to search differently. On Google, the focus isn't there like it's on Amazon. Amazon, you already feel like you're in a supermarket. So your keyword, you put in your natural keywords, but you also add the thing, like Three Musketeers. If you're searching for it on Google, you might search for Three Musketeers movie. If you're searching for it on Amazon, there's a really good chance you're going to put Three Musketeers DVD, or you're going to put Three Musketeers book. So I was saying that when you put your keywords in that box in Amazon, there's a good chance that your typical keywords that you're going after on Google are the same with the added word book to the end. And I would just put, I'm not sure about just putting comma book by itself. I'd have to look at the Amazon algorithm for that. But ice cream recipes book and ice cream recipes. Now you're only given 7, so you're going to have to be a little bit strategic about what you choose. But because it's a more focused environment, people tend to, instead of doing the drop down, search in only movies or search in only books, they actually put the word in there, book or DVD or MP3 or whatever it is they're looking for. So that was why I was saying it might be good to put the word book in there, because I think you might reach more people that way, only because other people will not put the word book in.
Yes, exactly. By the way, Mary Jo's asking, I intend to record the bonus webinar and put it in the members area. Yes. The reason why you may want to stay if you can and do this live is you can ask me questions. I mean, it becomes training and coaching.
It's almost 11:30 for those East Coast people.
Yep. All right, let's see. No, Sherry, I think you're in good shape. There are as a marketer, Sherry, there are a couple ways to upgrade your order. If you did the 157, Sherry. That is a one-time payment. It's not reoccurring. It's just one time, and there are additional things there. If you want to take advantage of them, you say yes. If you don't want to take advantage of them, you say no. And I will say, however, that there are things in that in my ways to upgrade for prices for stuff that I've never that you'll never see a better price anywhere else. Okay, just I will say that you won't. It truly is a one-time offer for that stuff. Okay, so I want to make sure we're clear on that.
All right, I got a question for you, and I'm totally sorry if this this is not a good question. But okay. Can you tell me what the offer will be later?
Yes, I can. The offer will be essentially the same, except that you're not going to get me now teaching you.
The 157 versus the 229?
Yeah, the offer is the same there.
Excellent. Okay.
The offer is the same.
I just want to make sure.
The offer is the same. It's just that we're giving people a reason to buy right now.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. So it's like qualifier words. Yes. Let's see. Paul says, will the bonus sessions be available for replay in the members area of Daniel's paid site? Yes. They will be. There's all other parts of my training are available in there as well. Okay. So everyone, yeah, go ahead.
Have you taken this topic and moved it to have you gotten paid to do a cruise for this topic?
Threat has been detected.
Have I taught this on a cruise?
Yeah.
It's funny you should ask that, because the answer to that is absolutely. in fact, the whole genesis of Real Fast Book was I was on that. I was about to do that cruise that you saw, where I was with my wife on doing the Mediterranean and Egypt and the Holy Land and all of that. And one of my topics on that cruise was how to write a book fast. And true to how I do, everything, or I try to do everything, is I'm like, hey, listen, I'm putting all this time, effort, and energy into this product. I need, or into this talk. I could, and the more I was doing it, the more I realized that I knew a lot about it. And I said, I'm going to turn this into a product, which became 3 years ago, Real Fast Book. And realfastbook.com has become by far my most successful product to date. We probably have over, I know we have over 2,000 members in the training, and it's far out surpassed the first product I came into the marketplace with, which was my cruise speaker product. So yeah, it did all that, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, it actually came from that, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah. And the reason I asked that, for some reason, I was still thinking about your author platform training, and then I was thinking about your speaker cruise, which is, authors oftentimes speak on cruises. So
exactly.
I was just trying to think about it all, your whole package. Separate niches, even though they're similar.
Yeah, there are a lot of, and that's the reason, and this is a good teaching point, actually.
Threat has been detected.
That when you're sort of, you master, and I was sort of the guy with regard to cruise ship speaking and that niche within a niche. In fact, I wouldn't say I invented it, but I'm certainly the guy that showed the speaking community that you can get booked directly. Not have to go through a speaker agency, okay? Mm-hmm. And that book did very, very well. Continues to do very well. Now it's a full-blown course. It's like $200, I think, at speakerscruisefree.com. And that did really, really well for about 3-4 years, and that was my business. But in the process of building that business and publishing the books and publishing the membership site and all that stuff, I learned all the stuff that went into Real Fast Book. And then all the stuff that I learned in launching Real Fast Book, I'm now taking the skill sets out of that and teaching that. That's how I came up with Real Fast Webinars, right? And Real Fast Book Marketing, and which I did with the grandpappy of book marketing, John Kramer. And realfastbookdistribution.com, which is how to get your books into retail stores. Okay, these are all separate trainings, but they're tangentially related to the core one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're at anyone need more time to get through the rest of the trade? I don't think there's 5 upsells, Sherry. There should only be 3. And if you don't like them, say no. And the no is prominent. All right. Good night, Mary Jo. I understand you got to go. All right. And
Threat has been detected.
Cool. All right. That's cool. So we're in good shape there.
All
right. So everyone in?
Figured out.
Is everyone in that's going to get in? Paul says definitely more than 3 upsells. Really? I haven't looked at that then. I thought there were 3. So if there are more, my apologies. There are meant to be 3. You're marketers, though, so hopefully you understand. I'm begging your pardon. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? All right. So if you have not yet
let me check who has got in here. Let me check the names. I'm going to check them twice like Santa. Okay, let me find out how we're doing here. How are we doing? Okay, yeah. If you are already, that's a good point. If you are already a member of Real Fast Book, you are eligible to be here. Okay? Because I know Paul, you are. I recognize your name. And I think there's somebody else here. Let me see. Nope. I think you're the only one. Okay? So, although we're not quite matching here with the number of orders for the number of people that are here. All right. So are we ready to get underway here?